I've been a part of Archer and Olive's monthly kit club for almost a year now. And for the longest time, I've wanted to challenge myself to create a full monthly setup only using the kit. That means no extra stickers, cardstock, or sparkly washi. Just what's inside the kit. This month's theme is the Dragon's Den. And right off the bat, I knew I was in for something special. So let's take a cozy look inside before we start building the November setup. Starting off with the washi tapes. Archer and Olive always includes 2 sizes, and they did not disappoint. There's this gorgeous stained glass fantasy washi paired with a black holographic silver gilded dragon washi. For the mystery item this month is a faux leather bookmark embossed with 3 dragons. While it is very pretty, and instantly gave me Fourth Wing vibes, I thought having it in a deep crimson red or an ultramarine blue would have made it feel even more moody for the season. But having it in this hobbity green really helps it tie in with this aesthetic. Then we have the cardstock, and this is where things start to truly feel royal. The lozenge pattern they used is so detailed, it almost looks like embroidered dragon scales. My favorite is this washed out black starry paper. It's mysterious and elegant all at once. I do wish it were a true black, but we can work with that and bring in more dramatic tones as we go. The gray and washed out teal pieces are perfect for layering and adding soft balance to all of the spreads. Next up are the sticker sheets, and these are so stinking cute. I love how they kept everything cohesive by pulling from the cardstock colors. It just gives the whole kit a unified and dreamy look. The silver holographic accents really bring it to life. And why is it that we don't see silver detailing in stationery often? I'm really hoping it makes a comeback because look at how pretty it is. Oh, I can't help it. We have the numbers of the dates with little dragon eggs, roses, jewels, and I think some sort of rock. Personally, I wish they made those into sparkly stars like the ones we saw on the envelope, but the gradient gray to black days of the week are gorgeous. I love the little extra touches like the check-off boxes being circles, hearts, and stars. The gold stickers are cute, but I'll probably skip those for this setup. But what I will be using are the bookmark style flags and all of those little date and heart stickers. And maybe it's just me, but I think Archer and Olive might have accidentally given me an extra sticker sheet, but I'm not complaining. Now that we've got a good feel for the theme, let's bring it to life. I'll be using just a couple of Tombow brush pens and a black pen for writing. Nothing outside of the kit otherwise. For my November page, I wanted something that really fit the Dragon's Den's theme. I sketched out a medieval style font, something that I felt like belonged in an old fantasy book. Fun little side note, when I asked my husband what he thought of this font, he looked at me and said, "It reminds me of you because how much you love everything medieval." And I just thought that was so sweet and made this theme feel even more personal. I used Tombow 772 in light rose and a burgundy in 757 for the title. And I also tried to blend them slightly to make the letters look a bit 3D and rich in color. Then I layered torn pieces of the teal and royal blue cardstock underneath it to give it a little bit more texture. By the way, if you do this yourself, use your cardstock wisely. I ended up overlapping a few pieces more than I needed to, and later realized I couldn't save some for the weeklies. I then added the stained glass washi across the top and bottom, then used little torn pieces of the black dragon washi tape to layer in some extra depth. I really love how this turned out. To me, it really feels like a fantasy storybook, but a cover for our November setup. Now on to the habit tracker. I like keeping it visually interesting because it's the one I have to look at every single day. I started by drawing a daily grid made with small rectangles, which are 4 boxes tall and 2 boxes wide, keeping in mind one of the spaces is for your header. I used the Dusty Rose Tombow for the header and wrote in the numbers using an ancient black Prismacolor pen that I have had for many, many moons. I leaned in to a slightly gothic feel here. The black dragon washi paired with the torn starry cardstock really adds to that moody fantasy vibe that I was going for. And instead of using those gold tracker stickers from the kit, I went with these little flag tabs to label each habit. It feels cleaner and gives me more freedom to customize the layout. I finished this by adding some of my favorite stickers from the kit, stars, jewels, and this giant stained glass dragon window. I think it just makes the page a bit more inviting. Moving on to my YouTube setup, I switched up the color palette to mix a jade green and the washed out blue by using Tombow's 312 and 526. I drew my calendar boxes 4 by 4 squares each. It's the perfect size for small notes, tracking steps, reading progress, or in this case, your YouTube deadlines. And on the left side, I added a strip of gray cardstock to balance out the theme, to really help tie everything in together. I also used some of those number stickers for the weekdays instead of writing them in by hand. And I love how polished this looks. I'll definitely be using these in the near future. To finish it off, I added strips of the black dragon washi to fill in some gaps along the bottom and the top. And I think this really helps ground the layout. One thing I did notice is that the stained glass washi has both vertical and horizontal designs. So I cut out some of the vertical sections and used them along the edge. And I think it gave the spread a nice framed look and kept things cohesive. Now for my favorite part, the weeklies. Week 1, I wanted to capture that dreamy, starry night feel. I used Periwinkle's Tombow paired with the teal cardstock from the kit. I then tore the cardstock edges for a softer organic texture and colored the torn edges with the brush pens. That way they would stand out against the white paper. This layout is a vertical weekly grid, which I love using when I want more flexibility in my schedule. You can use this for to-dos, book tracking, or even journaling snippets throughout the week. It gives a nice visual flow too, while keeping things structured from your day-to-day schedule. For week 2, I leaned into the dusty pink tones, which reminds me so much of fantasy romance. I started with the Dusty Rose Tombow from earlier, and then added the fantasy stained glass washi along the top and the bottom. I also originally placed the flag stickers down the middle, but it didn't look quite right to me, so I covered that section up with some blue cardstock, and honestly, that little oops turned into something really pretty. It gave the spread more balance and color, along with a layered scrapbook style texture. And besides, what you can't see isn't really there. Moving into week 3, this one quickly became one of my favorites. I started by cutting out small squares for each day of the week, but then realized I ran out of the gray cardstock, so I had to improvise. I drew 3 rectangles by hand to fill in the gap and colored the background with the burgundy Tombow from earlier. It gave this whole spread a deep, dark, dramatic fantasy vibe that I just absolutely love, and I still think it fits in with the Dragon's Den aesthetic. I framed the top and bottom of the page with scraps of the black starry cardstock, and it took a little bit of planning to make sure I had enough to cover both sides, but in the end, it was worth it. I then layered smaller stickers such as jewels, stars, and mini dragons around the weekly titles to tie everything together. And having the black dragon washi tape as well makes it feel so rich and definitely the standout spread of this month. Finally, week 4. I wanted to use the last bits of teal and blue paper, so I went with my go-to layout by splitting the pages into 4 larger sections. It's functional, flexible, and still fits the fantasy theme perfectly. I then used the weekday stickers across the top of the hobbity green Tombow brush strokes. I then finished with strips of the stained glass washi and let the stickers do the rest. This setup is simple but practical, and it's really great for busy weeks or when you really want the stationery to shine. If you enjoyed this Dragon's Den's kit challenge, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If there's one thing I learned, it's that stepping out of your comfort zone and using your supplies wisely can actually spark so much creativity. Limiting yourself to just the kit really makes you think. And it's so rewarding to see it all come together. Thank you so much for spending time with me and for watching till the very end. It means the world to me that you're here sharing this creative space. I hope this video inspired you to create something cozy and magical. Until next time, Dragon Riders, may you fly true and create beautiful things, and I'll see you in the near future.